Hi and welcome to Ru's Kitchen and Garden. Today is the first recipe vlog that I'm going to share since it's Ganesh Chaturthi and Ganesha's favorite dessert is modak. So I thought let us start our recipe vlog with the modak recipe. So here we are. I will just tell you the ingredients. This is one whole coconut. It's grated, freshly grated. That makes 2 cups of 250 ml. So this is 2 cups of 250 ml. Then we have some jaggery here. Now jaggery is as per your taste. You can take exactly so if you're taking 2 cups, you can take 2 cups coconut, you can take 1 cup jaggery. But I don't like it very sweet, so I have taken around 3/4 cup of jaggery for 2 cups of my freshly grated coconut. Then we'll need some ghee, and we'll also need some green cardamom powder. Okay, I have put a pan on the gas already here. As you can see, today a lot of preparations happening for Ganpati Puja, so if you see the kitchen in a mess, please pardon us. So yes, so here we are. Now I'm going to add little ghee to my pan, like really less, 2 teaspoon kinds. If you want to add dry fruits, or if you're adding poppy seeds, khaskhas, then this is the point you should add it now. But if you're not going to add anything like that, then just go ahead and add your coconut into this. Okay, nicely add your coconut into this and give it a nice stir. Once you kind of feel that there is enough, the ghee has kind of soaked the coconut, the flavors enter, then you can add the jaggery into it. Some people add half jaggery, half sugar, but I like only jaggery. So make sure that your jaggery is grated fine, because it so happens that if the jaggery is a big lump, then jaggery takes time to melt and the coconut starts burning. So it's good if both are around similar consistency. I'm going to mix it well. I've made a lot of things today for the Naivedya, which is the offering that we show to Lord Ganesha. So I've made chapati was still to make. We've made some paneer. So the speciality of today's food, or any food that you offer to God, is that it's made without any addition of onion and garlic. So today all food that I've made is without onion and garlic. So we've made paneer and makhni kind of paneer without onions and garlic. Then we've made this bitter lentil, which we call darimbi, bitter lentil usar, which is like a dry version. I have it here, I can show you. Then we're making some batata vadas, some papad. Then there is cucumber kind of a raita, which we call khamang kakri. So we have that. And then we have to make this typical varan bhat, which is like dal and rice, without again the addition of garlic or anything else. So it's very plain and simple. It's got asafoetida, turmeric, salt, ghee, and then we give like a slight jeera tadka to it, cumin seeds tempering. Now, as you can see here, the jaggery is melted, and this has come together. Need to fry it for some more time on low gas. And then from top you can add your cardamom powder. You have to make it little dry, on the drier side, because what will happen is if you make it very wet, if you leave it very wet, then your modaks are gonna burst when they start steaming, because a lot of water is gonna come out of them, which is not a good thing. So you should make sure that it is a bit dry. The consistency should be around like this. Yeah, I think this is pretty much what we are expecting. And jaggery is melted. I'll just make the flame a bit high for the last minute soaking up of any melted jaggery. Keep stirring it constantly. This is lovely aroma. Reduce the gas, switch it off actually, and now we'll move on to make the covering of the modaks, the ukad as we call it. Now we are making the stuffing, we're making the covering, we're done with the stuffing. So for the covering, what we need to do is take 1 cup water, and in the same quantity you need to take the rice flour. Now if you are in Singapore, let me add some salt to it, just a teeny tiny bit for the taste, and need to add ghee so it doesn't tear and it doesn't stick to the pot much. So little ghee I'm adding here. Once this like kind of boils a bit, then I'm going to add 1 cup flour. So same measurement, yeah, same measurement, same for water, same for flour. So if you live in Singapore, this is the atta that I bought. So this is the atta that I bought. It's modak flour. It's rice flour for modak. So this is very good. You can buy this next time. Or if otherwise, what people do to make the modak flour is they soak any fragrant variety of rice like an ambe mohar or a basmati. They soak it overnight. They lay it overnight under the fan. They dry it, and next day they grind it extremely fine. So like this consistency. Now I would want to tell you all a trick over here is that in your rice flour, even if you buy this ready-made rice flour, or if you make your own rice flour, you should add a bit of sago. That's it. You can add at least this much amount of sago. Now I'll send it for grinding. Just grind this very fine. You can take little rice flour to grind it if you want, because it's not too much in quantity. So what happens is it won't grind fine. So you need to add a little more rice flour in it to make it grind fine. So the atta's gone. She'll grind it fine and give it to us. So what sago does is addition of sago makes it get that sheen, and it's easy to kind of roll the covering. It doesn't crack much. So that's the benefit of adding sago. So yeah, once this water boils, we are going to add the sago and the rice powder inside this boiling water. Okay, I shall show you the process later. Hi, so yeah, here our water started to boil, as you can see. So let it boil a bit more. And then once you see your water is boiling, you can add your flour into it. Give it a nice stir. Move it around nicely so that everything gets nicely soaked in this. The flour gets nicely soaked in this. And then you can reduce the flame and let it steam for a minute or so. Okay. Then we'll take a big plate and we have to now, after it's like say 5 minutes or so and it's nicely steamed, now I'm going to switch off the gas. Okay, so you saw I put the flour in it, I mixed it well, and I still kept the gas on for 2-3 minutes, and now I'm switching off the gas and I'll still let it steam. Okay. Okay, this is looking good now. So as you can see, we'll take this out in this plate that we have here. It looks dry right now, but don't need to worry. It will all come along nicely. Now, what I have done is I have kept a bowl full of ice cold water next to me. I'm going to dip my hands in bowl full of ice cold water, and I'm going to start kneading while it's hot. But we won't burn our fingers because we have this cold water with us. So bring it down, and here you go. So whenever you feel hot, just put your hand in that ice cold water and then start mixing it. It's very hot, so just slightly. Don't have to bring water into your hand, but just your hand should be wet enough. Okay. If you don't want to do this, don't want to punish yourself like this, it's okay. You can wait for 5-10 minutes, but it shouldn't get very cold. While it's warm, just start kneading it. Please don't add too much water because it's going to be very difficult for you to later manage it. So, approximately you can have a leeway of 2 tablespoons water more than the 1 cup that we took. Sorry. Okay. Now it's pretty manageable, so I'm just gonna take some of this from here. Yep, pretty manageable now. Now it's not that hot, so you can start kneading it nicely. The more you knead it, the more softer you make it, that much better it is for the modak to be soft. Now we have to knead it till it's like nice and soft and it comes together. And to test it, you can take out a ball and cover the rest and keep it with a wet muslin cloth. So cover the rest while you work on one. So our aim is to make a nice round without any cracks. Yeah, if this is done, I think we're good enough to go. So now you need to dip both your thumbs in water and don't put too much water also because it starts cracking. So now you need to make this as thin as possible. Go slow, there's no hurry. It shouldn't have cracks. So make sure you wet your hands with water a bit and this way. Some people even roll it on a rolling pin to make it thin. Completely depends on how you want to do it, what you are comfortable with. Just have to make sure that it has to be thin from top. Not hard. It is actually. I won't say it's not difficult. It takes practice. And there are a lot of factors that decide how your modak is going to be. Having good quality flour is also one of them. So now this is done. Now you have to take these 3 fingers. You have to push and fold. So I think you can take a little ghee to fold it in your hand. You have to press it hard. Go till the bottom. Here you go. Okay. One finger space and get to the other one. This is it. Now we fill it up. Can I get the mold? The mold is all the mold actually. So here we are. Now I've stuffed the modak into it. I've stuffed the mixture and now we will, with the help of a hand, just bring this together. Give it a slight pressure while you're bringing it together. This is one. Now I have these turmeric leaves from my garden, so they impart a very nice fragrance to the modak. So you need to lay them like this. There should be gap for the steam to pass through. So that's why we are cutting these leaves into half. And before putting it on the steamer, dip your modak in water. You can see here. I don't know if you can see. Okay, let me just show it this way. Just dip your modak in the water before you put it here for steaming. Now, if this was hard for you, there are a lot of these molds available in the market. There are various sizes. So I will show you one with the mold. It's easy, you just have to apply some ghee, then close it. You have to stuff your dough into this, line the walls of your nicely. Make sure it goes till the top. Then you fill your mixture. Oh, sorry. You can fill your mixture inside, and then put your cover back on top. Like, close this nicely. And then you can slightly open it very carefully. It's got cracks, but make sure that they don't have cracks. So whichever shape is easy for you, whichever way is easy, then dip it in water and put it back on the steamer. I have water below the steamer. It should just about touch, but the modak should not be floating in water. So less water, just enough water actually. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Show you another one. Okay, nice round. Put your thumb in and just roll it. If it's not sticking, press it hard a bit and go till the bottom, like this. Okay, yeah, and then stuff it. Bring it together. And dip it in the water, put it on the steamer. The modak is started steaming now. You can see steam coming out. Another 5 minutes maybe, and then it takes around 7 to 10 minutes, not more. And with 1 cup of rice flour and 1 cup of water, we've made around 7 modaks. Okay, and they always say you have to make modaks in odd numbers and have a karanji with it. So we've done that. We still have some more stuffing left, so I'm going to make another 1 cup rice flour, and I'll make 7 more, but that's later. Are up, but we have to check whether the modaks are done or not. They get a sheen once they are done, so the sheen is there, but they should also not stick to your hands. So when you take them out, still sticking, so I think I will let it go for another 5 more minutes. Okay, on a slow gas, medium high. I'll let it go for another 5 more minutes. Take this one modak for the puja. Yeah, good. So this is my prasad thali or Naivedya thali, and this is my puja. So now I'll go on with my puja. Thank you for watching. Bye.